So generally speaking now, let's discuss how to resolve conflict in relationship. So many things can be the cause of conflict in your marriages. It could be sex, it could be money, it could be the children, it could be a lot of things. There's no particular thing that we can say, okay, this is the reason why you will be having conflict in your relationship.
Yeah.
The thing is, you cannot overrule the possibility of conflict in your marriage. But it is important that you know how to manage them. And as cliche as it may sound, the first thing is you have to talk about it.
Yeah, you're going to have to talk about it.
You cannot sleep over it. You have to talk about it. That's the first step to conflict resolution.
Yeah. I'm thinking even if you slept over it, understand that when you wake up, you're going to have to wake up eventually. And when you wake up, you have to talk about it. Now, so let me say something about that briefly. For the two people involved, depending on whose personality is what, you should understand that it can be awkward approaching the other person. Some people don't have issues when they are angry. They can approach talk. And all those things. Some people don't. Whatever your personalities or
you must
understand the mechanism of talking. You must have a mechanism of talking. For us, I remember sometimes a long time ago, what happens is we now use WhatsApp to talk. We're in the same room.
Yeah, in the same room, but you'll be chatting on WhatsApp. I think it's crazy.
But so I let it go because as uncomfortable as it may be, there is that interface, you know.
I don't like to talk when I'm angry because I can say rubbish.
Well, I don't like to approach people and talk to people who are angry.
So the best thing is we will be lying down on the same bed, but we'll be chatting on WhatsApp about that issue that we are angry about. If that's the way it works for you, why not?
And that's not the rule of thumb.
Sometimes we may talk physically that okay, let's face this issue.
Sometimes
face me, I face you, we talk.
It gets hot and then we drop it. We go,
exactly.
Come
Not
back.
that to beat each other, we don't beat each other, but sometimes we may just want to hit the whole point and talk without. So you must know what works for your own marriage.
Exactly.
There's no formula to it that this is what you must do. Know what works for your marriage. Then secondly is be ready to forgive. Because sometimes some issues will reoccur over and over again. You must be ready to forgive. Like the example of Bitcoin we give, you must be ready to forgive. He will still make the same mistake.
Hope not to.
It's not like he's looking out to make that mistake. But now that it has happened, you must forgive and give another chance. You know, like we said, you must always be ready to give a chance over and over and over again. So you will give another chance. And trusting and believing that that person is working at getting better. Shebi?
Yeah, definitely.
You must work at getting better. It is not an excuse for you to now be so relaxed and lackadaisical.
You can't afford to be.
It's not acceptable.
It's the place of growth, actually. Yeah, it's the place of growth. Like you don't get as upset as you were often in the beginning.
I've gotten better.
Yeah, I've also learned to, when she's angry, I'm not seeing it like the end of the world. You know, I would rather not get angry. I would like to hide my emotions, hold it in place, and all of that stuff. But so, even when you are upset and all that, I've learned to find a way to reach out, and not just WhatsApp, or as in physically to say.
That's the irony of the thing. Me, when I'm angry, I like you to come, draw me close, touch me, like all that mushy and all those things.
Really?
That is the way I like it when I'm angry. But he will just leave me alone, like.
Yeah, because I find
deal with your anger.
in my, as in, it's like a pot of water that is boiling. You can't hug it. But so that thing she said, actually, I'm trying to work towards it. You know, I'm trying to psych myself up to say, it's a very strange concept to me, really. But then she said, I've had it before, and then she has said it, and I'm like, one day I'm going to try this, pretty much. So communication is key.
It's key. Another thing is, sometimes a woman may be serious about a particular matter, but she will be talking about it like she's joking. She's not joking. You must be sensitive to know that, okay, this thing she's saying, and once she says it not once, not twice.
Oh, seriously.
Video call, no video call. You don't want to scatter relationship.
It's not just my friend. It's happened to us.
It happened to guys. I'll say that don't play the blame game.
No.
It's never healthy. It's never safe for your relationship, for your marriage. Don't play the blame game.
Yeah.
Like when something happens, don't say that you caused it.
It's your fault.
It's your fault.
It's
and all
my
of
fault.
That. It may be the person's fault, but you don't have to state the obvious, because I'm sure that the person is reasonable enough to know that I should not have done this. If I had not done it, it would not have happened. So you coming to now state the obvious.
It just
it's
creates
just
more
going
problem.
exactly. It's like adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
So don't play the blame. Be careful of transfer of aggression.
Resist the urge.
Be careful of transfer of aggression because, see, babe. Okay, for example, 2 days ago, I was angry at you.
Can you actually do? But continue.
Not because of what you did,
That I had no idea of.
but because of what somebody did that was related to you.
Yeah. As in,
I was angry because that thing happened as a result of his relationship to that person.
yeah.
So I'm supposed to be mad at that person,
One
right?
of the people close to me now. Abi.
Yes.
So,
I'm supposed to be mad at that person, but it was the recipient of that anger. So I just walked out of the house and left the house, and that was it.
and I
All
traveled,
through
I just come back.
We had just come back from a journey.
And I'm
That's
like-
why we did not even film a video for last week. So
Really?
he had just come back from a traveling. I'm supposed to be, all about him. I missed him actually, and I did not even bother to show it. I did not bother to tell him. I just went
Do you know
for
what's
the whole
going
day.
on
I
in my
came back. I did not even message him throughout the day. Like I was that angry.
Do you know what was the message in my head? Then you're not going to say, I miss you. I miss you. I miss you.
I miss you now, but
If you missed me, maybe you should talk to me when I came back.
I missed you. But because of the thing on ground, I was too angry, and that's the thing. My anger is not good because once I'm angry, I shut out from everything. I'm still working on getting better.
There is this website you can go to, patience.com. Just subscribe. Just subscribe. If you're a man, just subscribe. so, you know, I handled it. Of course, I didn't have an idea. I knew you were upset about something.
And the funniest thing is, he even made food for me by the time I was back. I'm like,
very
oh,
good
I'm so
guy."
sweet.
Well, basically, what I told myself, I mean, particularly after you had told me why you were upset and all that, of course, it pained me, it lingered a lot inside of me. But what I kept telling myself is, things like this can happen. You know, I can't write it in your account. I can't keep such accounts and say you did this, that day and all that. It's the way to get around it, because if you plan on having a happy married life, there are some type of journals you won't
just
keep.
let go. Like, you cannot
You
say
let
that
go.
on so dates at so time you did this. I don't like it.
Yeah,
You don't have hypertension.
you are not looking for a long healthy life, pretty
No.
much. So I just told myself, okay, it's understand. You see, let me see. I like to put myself in other people's shoes. In reality, yes, I will not probably. I will use the word probably because you can't tell. React to somebody else based on what somebody else did. But there are some other things that you too will do that the other person will feel like will make sense, and they will be right about it. In fact, there will be things that you have done to more
Annoying.
unrelatable. Shey you get like that. You want to máa ṣeré. So then you come back and don't
English, please.
Oh, sorry about that. if you don't understand Yoruba, please go and learn before Judgment Day. That's the language of the gods. They can't tell you guilty or not guilty, and then you are waiting for you to translate. It won't work. I'll be in the river of life. So anyway, okay. So like I was saying, if someone has if you find yourself in situations where you've done something that the other person can't relate to as well, the same way you probably are feeling about what they are doing that you can't relate to. So don't act like the impossible has happened. Solomon said nothing new under the sun. So even with you, that's why I told myself, I've been here before, that I've done things that you probably can't relate to, even though I can't understand it, even if I can't remember it, even if I've not yet done it.
Yeah.
It is the concept of these things can happen, exactly. So once you tell yourself that, I think there's a way it gets you to be able to forgive the other person and move on. And I'm not looking forward to, I'm going to let you feel there was something I used to do back in the day, payback.
When he was immature.
No, it's not when I was immature. It was when I felt this was the best way for you to understand.
But I don't like that thing.
Yeah, you said you didn't like it. I think I've stopped that.
Yeah. But you still did it.
It was a mistake if I did it. I didn't mean it. I didn't plan it.
But you don't do it as much as before.
Before, I think about how can you understand this thing? I think if I did the same thing to you, you will understand what it is. Because I was thinking if I just told you by mouth, you won't get it.
It's more painful.
But I had to learn that, bros, that sort of a thing. It's the place of growth, actually.
Yeah.
I look back at who I used to be and who I am now.
Until you forbid life,
Life me to the forbidden.
Cutting me. Give me my glory now.
You want to take the glory, honor, and adoration, you have it.
What other way can you resolve conflict?
No, that's basically it. Once you have done communication, once you are willing to forgive, and then you can understand that the vulnerabilities you are spotting in the other person are equally in you, just in a different flavor.
And
honestly.
marriage is a journey. You keep getting better each day. Every day
yeah.
you keep getting better.
Yeah.
And don't ever compare your marriage with someone else's own.
Well, you can actually if you plan to spoil your marriage.
Because the green is always
grass.
the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah.
And nobody comes to tell you that this is the shitty thing that is happening in my marriage.
You know, when people are watching us talking about this thing, will look like more people you can the issues and all that.
See, let's just keep that aside. You don't even want to know. You don't want to know.
It's always so. No.
So there are always those issues. There are those things that happen in marriages that when you now go to other couples' house, and you visit them, and you are able to see one or two things, and you can relate that this is what is happening in my marriage too. Or you are speaking with a friend, a married friend, and she's telling you this, and you're like, my husband does the same, and I'm always mad for this reason. Just ask yourself, why have I been so unnecessarily angry for nothing?
Ladies and gentlemen, for singles, because single people are the ones who are likely to fall into. Married people have been in relationship, so people have had to complain issues to them, and they're like, you're telling my own story in a different situation.
Yeah.
Singles are the ones who should understand that. You see, you're in a relationship with somebody, and you think this and that act that I can't cope with. If you have reflected with some of other people who are married or women, they will tell you, there is nothing new that they are doing.
It's just that these days people don't talk about the ugly things in their marriages. They would rather keep
if you have
or
people who are
shut
close
up.
to you who will tell you, you'll find out the things you find this contented with in this person. We are not talking about the extreme things. Some things are not acceptable, but the things that you should be able to get around, they are in the next guys too. So you break up with one guy thinking you'll find the next guy. You just see another flavor of it in the other guy. You'll be like, this one is strawberry.
And the thing is, there was a time I was complaining that you press phone too much, phone too much. That thing got to me. I got very, very angry, and I said I was not going to talk to you about it again. And I called somebody, like a senior friend of yours, guy. And he was not explaining some things to me, and those things, they really made a lot of sense. Like, do you know that when he's pressing that phone, his mind is not actually on the phone he's pressing, he's just using it to power, right? Because your man will not
I know the person you talk to with that phrase.
Your man will not come to you and say, not because he does not see you as a partner, but sometimes it's always difficult for them to say that these are the issues on my mind. It's just being a man.
True.
He would rather want to sort it out and be up to his game as a man. I don't know whether he's attached to their ego. I don't know. But I feel they just prefer to figure things out and sort it out as a man rather than bother you. Because a normal, reasonable man wants to make the wife comfortable, wants to make the family comfortable.
Yeah.
So he will want to, play up to that standard, to that expectation. So he coming to tell you that, babe, I'm so worried that I don't have money. Like, he doesn't have money. We both know it. But he won't come to tell you that this money I don't have is really making me feel sad and depressed. Your mom will not tell you that.
let me put it to you like this. It's like when there is an assignment you are supposed to give to the teacher, the answer. You don't take back the question to the teacher.
So the phone is pressing, it's just pressing that phone, and somewhere behind his head, like at the back of his head, is thinking,
algorithms are going on.
What am I going to do to make sure that my family does not suffer hunger? What are the things I have to put in place to make sure that everything is fine? And when you're married to a wife like me, that can state the obvious and tell you, I've not had this. Babe, we've not gone out in the past 1 month. Just 1 month, though. We've not gone out. What's going on? What is happening to us? You can imagine that kind of thing. So he's, doing his calculation. He's trying to figure out the way things work. So sometimes you must understand that thing about the other person, right?
Yeah, actually. So the person is right. Actually,
it's not just pressing phone for the sake of pressing phone. There are things going on at the back of his head.
Yeah, and so some of you people, you may not have a man who presses phones. It might do some other.
It might do some other things.
It might not be pressing phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you should understand that, and it helps. Once you just understand why people do what they do, it goes a long way in elevating. Sometimes you don't even get the reason why you know what they did, but you don't get why they did it. It helps you to understand that, okay, well, it might just be how they found it comfortable to react at the time. It goes a long way to give you respite and all of those.
And when you think that it's getting too much, you can no longer bear it. Find somebody trustworthy. You cannot just tell anybody about anything about everything that is happening in your marriage.
Otherwise, you find it on Twitter.
Exactly. Somebody will use you as an example.
Yes.
On Instagram. Yes. So find somebody trustworthy that is more matured, that has been in this journey ahead of you to talk to. Firstly, talk to each other about it. before you take it outside, before you make it. We don't talk to people about things happening in our marriages. We really do. I don't think we've ever carried ourselves to somebody to say, please help us to solve fight.
No, it was in a long time ago that we just say, like but afterwards we've just, I thought about it one day.
And that was when I did not even know. I was being immature, complaining about every little thing because my expectations were not met. I had to calm myself, sit myself down and like, these things are just fantasies. Yeah, they are just fantasies. So you must grow up to the reality of life. This is marriage. This is life. Things are different now.
While she's on that, there are fantasies I'm trying to fulfill.
Yeah, he's working on them.
Yeah,
but
really.
Just talk to yourself. Sometimes do a self-evaluation.
Yeah.
Then do a joint evaluation.
It makes sense.
And my husband doesn't. Sometimes I'll just tell him we need to talk. It does not like the phrase of that. We need to talk.
Yeah.
But that is the way I can tell him that okay, this thing we are able to talk. We are going to talk about is something very serious and that is very, very important to me. He just prefer that I should just kick up conversation and start talking.
Yes.
No.
Because when as a guy you hear we need to talk, you think there's fire on the mountain.
So I tell him we need to talk and we talk about things that's been happening in the relationship that I don't like, and I ask him to what are the things I've been doing that you don't like, and we come to an agreement to get better, and from there we are growing.
But you know the interesting thing is, even sometimes when you make the mistake to tell me we need to talk, my mind first goes, it can't be that hard. It's a way of saying there's something I want to say. So I'm just like, okay, just say it.
Then so guys, I think that is all we have for today.
Yeah, most definitely.
We hope you learn one or two things, and we pray that God blesses your marriage. God gives you wisdom to manage situations. God blesses your relationship. He gives you the wisdom to do things differently and to walk towards the right direction. Yeah, let us know if you enjoyed this video by hitting that like button. Give this video a thumbs up. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. If there are things that you have done in your marriages, in your relationship that has worked for you and has helped you to grow better, I'm sure people will be in the comment section to read up, right?
Yeah.
So let us know your thoughts in the comment section. In case there are some points that we have not touched. We are just 3 years in marriage, so we are still newbies. We've not even started.
It's just a little observation about
yes, a little things that we've seen and we've noticed and we thought to put out our mind, our ideas out there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You've not figured it out. And then if you've enjoyed the video, try and share it.
Yes, please share and subscribe. Subscribe to this channel.
It's a good point.
Let us grow now. Please, I'm begging you. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know that I'm doing a good job.
You are doing a good job, actually.
Thank you.
Oh, no, trust me. I would not have been here if you weren't doing a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, guys. So, yeah, that's it. That's all we have for today. I'll see you in my next video. That video is going to be bam. I promise you, like, it's going to be worth your time and your data. So, stay tuned and look forward to it. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, stay safe and stay blessed. Bye.